Shalom, shalom, peace, peace, family. Climb on up in here. Climb on in, family. I got a lot of stuff to discuss today. I see what's on the board. Biochemical warfare and deterioration of the original man/woman health. Climb on in. All right, this is my first time ever doing this on all three platforms at one time. This is new to me. So when y'all climb in, go ahead and do y'all shout outs. That way I know if y'all coming from Facebook. I know y'all coming from YouTube. I know everywhere y'all coming from. Y'all climb on in here. I see Matthew in the building. Shalom, shalom. Hanya, Israel, shalom. Reggie Bone, shalom, shalom. Scotty Scott, shalom, shalom. Y'all climb on in. Climb on in here. And we got some very, very, very good topics to talk about today. Everybody keep talking about the coronavirus. I want to touch on that again, a little taste. And I really want to talk about herpes, just all these viruses and how to truly rid them from your body. How to truly rid them from your body. So y'all climb on up in here. Again, this is my first time actually doing this on all of my platforms at one time. So I don't know how to invite anybody on Facebook. So if you is in here on my Facebook, go on and share and like the video. And I'm gonna wait and give y'all a few minutes to climb on in. Nehemiah, my brother Nakamya, shalom, shalom. Y'all climb on in here. Climb on in. So y'all see it, biochemical warfare and deterioration of the original man and woman's health. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I got a few articles I want to go and show y'all too. Now, the reason why I started going live like this is because people in my Facebook, I couldn't show my face and do my presentations at the same time. So a lot of people were stealing my videos and uploading them to YouTube or uploading them to their own Facebook page and acting like it was theirs. Because the only thing you can see was my presentation and hear my voice. You couldn't see my face. So this is the reason why I'm like this right now. All right, y'all climb on in. We finna get everything started. We're going to get everything started. Okay? All right, so look, let's go and get it started. I think we got a few people in here, enough people to get it started. So what we finna go over is showing where these viruses come, how they making these viruses, and basically how they're putting them inside of us, and showing how it's all to do with the mucosa membrane. If you can heal the lymphatic system and cleanse the lymphatic system and cleanse the skin, which is the mucous membrane, I don't care what disease it is or what virus it is, you can get rid of it. All right. Herpes, we got testimonies. HIV, we got testimonies. I mean, cancer, stage 4 cancer, leukemia, we got testimonies. Syphilis, we got testimonies. Parkinson's disease, we got testimonies. Everything I'm talking about is clinical trials and us in the field using these herbs and seeing diagnostic sheets showing that people had these so-called viruses, which is nothing but parasites, due to the mucous membrane, and then showing that they don't have them no more. So anytime I'm talking, I'm not talking out the side of my neck. I'm not only talking from a research standpoint of view. I'm talking from hands-on clinical trials. Anybody that know me and follow me know this to be nothing but proof, truth, and facts. And I'm here to prove that today. I had a couple people on my Facebook page yesterday telling me I was lying because I made a bold claim. I said that all diseases shows a compromised mucosa membrane with a parasite that eat glycoprotein that follows behind it. So some man jumped on there talking about he been 20 years inside the laboratories messing with blood analysis and doing live cultures on human cells and saying he never seen that. So I'm finna show proof today, and we're gonna show how to heal this stuff. So if y'all ready to get started, if y'all can hear me well, type in some 9s and we get started. If y'all can hear me good and y'all ready to get started, type in some 9s. I got a lot of stuff to show y'all. I'm finna show and prove today that all diseases, I don't care what disease it is, if they call it a virus, is it in fact a parasite that lodges inside of your cell, and it eats glycoprotein and it eats iron phosphate inside of your red blood cells, and that's how it's spread. After it breaks up your mucosa membrane, that's the only way it can get inside the body in the first place. And then we're gonna show and prove that if you strengthen your mucous membrane, if you strengthen it up and you cleanse the lymphatic system, you cleanse the kidneys, you cleanse the blood, you cleanse the major organs, you cleanse the interstitial cells, this is how you heal the body. And the reason why I know is because it's been done. It's been done hundreds and hundreds of times. All types of paperwork we got showing these things. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let me share my screen with y'all. Let me share my screen. Hold on, share screen. Okay, if y'all can see my screen, let me know. If y'all can see my screen being shared, let me know. Again, it's my first time doing this. So if y'all can see my screen being shared, type in the 7. Type in the 7. What I'm going to do is go on my Facebook. That way I can look at y'all comments, if that's possible. Give me 1 second, family. Again, it's my first time doing this, so. If y'all can see my screen being shared, let me know. All right, I'm all good. All right, so I'm sharing my screen with y'all right now. Let me turn this down, and we're going to get to the presentation. Now, for those who've been stealing my stuff and acting like it's theirs, y'all see my face over on the left side of the page. So this is my work and my research. I'm not saying I'm the originator from this because it's called research. I'm researching what somebody else already searched out. All right. Now check this out. Let's go into these parasitic viruses. Now, what you finna understand and realize whenever you dealing with any type of virus, y'all, I don't care what virus it is, whenever you dealing with any type of virus, you have to deal with the mucosa membrane. Any type of disease you name, you can make up a disease and mention the disease. Any disease or virus that gets a hold of your system is because the mucosa membrane have been compromised. All right. It's because the mucosa membrane have been compromised. Let me blow this up for y'all can read it too. All right. So the first thing we're going to get into is what is the mucosa membrane? What is it? All right. The mucosa membrane covers just about every surface of our body that has any contact with the outside environment. Mucosa membranes lines the epithelial cells of our skin, our nose, our throat, our mouth, our airways, our digestive tract, your urinary tract. What's attached to the urinary tract? Your vagina, what they call the clitoris and the penis. All right. You see that? Vagina, eyes, ears canal, and other surfaces. Some surfaces, such as the skin, have very thin mucosa membranes. Other surfaces, such as the digestive tract and airways, have thick mucosa membrane. Some surfaces are such that they are not typically referred to as mucosas. So it's saying that it's so much mucosa membranes inside your system, inside your body, that they don't even refer to some as mucosa. Because look, guess what? You have a mucosa membrane inside of each cell inside your body. Your body is made of 150 trillion cells. It says, yet there are still categorized as mucosa membranes, as they are all linked together. Let's take a moment and review the surface that have forms of mucosa membrane, starting from the head to toe. So you see, you got your scalp. It's a mucous membrane inside of your scalp. Any people that's dealing with alopecia, anybody that's dealing with hair loss, anybody that's dealing with bald spots on their head, bumps on the back of their heads, that don't razor bumps. If you're dealing with that, that means the mucosa membrane of your scalp have been compromised, y'all. Again, every single disease, every single pain, every single virus is linked to the mucosa membrane. I don't care what it is. It's all linked to it. All linked to it. You see that? Your ears. When you have an earache, what is that? That is an infection inside the mucosa membrane inside your ears. Your eyes, whether you're going through glaucoma, whether you're going through size and cysts, whether you're going through anything that has to do with your eyesight, if your eyes are weakened, you can't see that good, something that's going on with the back of the nerve that's connected to your optic gland. All this is dealing with the mucosa membrane of your eyes. The nasal cavity, this from your nose that goes in back of your sinus cavities. Whenever you have a migraine, your head is hurting, your head pounding, no matter where it's at in your head, guess what it's dealing with? It's dealing with the mucus inside the mucosa membrane, inside your nasal cavity and inside your sinuses. A lot of us walking around with sinus infections and don't even know we have them. We just think we have ongoing headaches and migraines, but you literally have an infection or inflammation in the mucosa membrane of the sinus cavities. The tongue is a mucosal membrane lay on there too. Oral cavities, the trachea, esophagus, your airways, your alveoli, which is inside of your lungs, your stomach, intestines. How you think you get the phytonutrients from your intestines of your duodenum to the blood capillaries to actually feed the body nutrients? All of this is through the mucosa membrane. Your colon, your rectum, your anus, your urethra, your vagina, and your skin, and your penis. And we're going to get into that. Whenever you have a STD, the reason why it burns when you pee is because the mucous membrane inside of the glands at the tip of your penis is inflamed. It's inflamed, and you peeing or urinating acids. So we finna show and prove that not only is all these things a biochemical warfare, these things have been made in laboratories, but what they have been doing is they will go and steal monkeys and steal rats and cats, and they will take the glycoprotein out of the kidneys of these animals and mix it with RNA, and then they will give it to you through vaccinations, or they'll put it inside of aborted fetuses and use their skins and put it inside your foods. It's inside of Coca-Colas. It's inside the Pepsi. I mean, look, we got articles on all this stuff where people are straight being sued for billions of dollars for doing this stuff. And we got the proof right here. Got the proof right here. And all this leads up to the coronavirus, which is nothing but airborne HIV and AIDS. Whether y'all gonna laugh at me or not, that's what it is, because it has the same exact strand. The same exact strand. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing here. Now check this out. Let's go back in. Let's move over. All right, now when you blow this one up, this shows you. Okay, so now we got a skeleton figure of a human body, and we see all the points where the mucosa membrane is, but you notice it's not in the legs. Do you know there's a mucosa membrane between every joint of your body? So people that's dealing with rheumatoid articular arthritis, guess what's happening to you? You're dehydrated. You have dehydrated your mucosa membrane. You don't have that slip and slide no more. So now literally your joints are grinding themselves together because you're cellularly dehydrated. We're gonna talk about all this today. And you just see the picture of it showing, and notice it got the vaginal on this point there too. All right, let's read this. It says, did we miss anything? Yes. If we include the mucous membrane of many of our inner passageways, epithelial cell linings, the list get longer. All right, now we finna get more into the mucous membrane, and then we're gonna get into what I talk about a lot, glycoproteins, which is attached to every disease, because whenever you see glycoprotein, guess what you're gonna see? You're gonna see a parasite. Mainly in my herpes patients, mainly in my HIV patients, and my full-blown AIDS patients, and in my leukemia patients. Whenever you're dealing with cancer, all of it's the same thing. We have to understand before 1980, whether it was HIV, whether it was full-blown AIDS, whether it was SARS disease, whether it was any of these viruses that we're hearing about now, all these viruses was classified as cancer. All of them was called cancer. I don't care what it was. If it was herpes, it was called cancer. If it was HIV, it was called cancer. If it was full-blown AIDS, it was called cancer. Because all these things had a patent on it. You can't put a patent on a virus or a disease unless it was created by man. You can't patent what God had made. These are man-made viruses that they gave to us through vaccines. And all of it starts with the intrusion of our mucosa membrane. Period. If you learn the lymphatic system and the mucosa membrane, that's the key to healing. That's the key to healing. Now check this out. It says the mucosa membrane. Hold on, did I read that? Okay, let's read it again. It says, did we miss anything? Question mark. It says, yes, if we include the mucous membrane of many of our inner passageways of epithelial cell linings, the list get longer. These includes blood vessel walls. So even your blood vessel walls have a mucosa membrane, bladder, and so on. Even your bladder have a mucosa membrane. So they show you that every blood, every artery, every every organ, every cell, everything have a mucosa membrane. Everything. And the moment that this become depleted, or the moment that it start producing too much of itself, this is where you're going to find sickness. Yes, Dr. Sebi been saying that. He's actually telling the truth. Man, we just finna get into the science of it to prove what he's been saying for years and to prove what I've been saying for the last 3-4 years. All right. Now check this out. It says we can include here the nerve sheath lining. So even your nerves, every nerve ending have a mucosa membrane. See, people that got nervous disease, people that got Parkinson's, people that got Brain's disease, people that got Alzheimer's, all these things are dealing with the mucous membrane, spinal cord lining. People with spinal cord injuries. What happens to herpes? Don't herpes dig itself into the spinal cords and live and express its way throughout the nervous system? These things are mucous membrane related diseases. It says vertebrae, discs, and more. What are the mucosa membrane made of? Now, this is what's going to blow y'all socks off, right? What is the mucosa membrane made of? The mucosa membrane or thin linings of biochemical. Now, remember, the lesson is called what? Biochemical warfare and deterioration of the original man and woman's health. All right? Biochemical warfare and deterioration of the original man and woman health. Because that's what's happening to us. They have inflicted biochemical warfare on us. Well, how do you inflict biochemical warfare? By messing with the biochemical of what God have created, which will be the original man here on earth, y'all. Now check this out. The mucosa membrane, or a thin layers of biochemicals produced by the bodies combined with probiotic bacteria. Now, if anybody know my three bitters is full of probiotic bacteria, which is called biobifidum bacteria. That's why we created and made the three bitters, because the three bitters literally rebuilds the mucosa membrane. That's why the three bitters are selling out. That's why the three bitters are changing the world, because the three bitters literally is directly targeting the mucous membrane to rebuild it and to re-strengthen it and put all the phytonutrients back in it. All right. Now check this out. It says most of the mucosa membranes are not the same from the body region to body region either. Here is a short list of some of the contents of many of these regions. Now, this is what the mucosa membrane is made of. The first thing on the list, family, is glycoprotein. Ooh-wee. The first thing on the list is glycoprotein. Now, glycoprotein makes up the mucosa membrane that outlines your entire body, right? When we look at herpes, to get the check to see if you get herpes tested, they have to test what? Your immunoglobulin GG. And this is where you get your IgG account from. They are testing the glycoprotein account and call it an IgG to see if you built the antibody for the herpes virus. So when you think about the herpes virus is a virus that lives inside of what? The mucosa membrane. All right, glycoprotein. Mucopolysaccharides. Okay, now glyco always means sugar. Protein means amino acid strands. Muco means mucus. Poly means many. Saccharides means sugar. Enzymes are literally base biochemicals that is fired off and mixed by each of your glandular highways. Probiotics is natural bifidum bacteria. T cells is your immune system cells that help fight off. B cells are immunological system cells that helps rebuild. All right, then you got immunoglobulin E and immunoglobulin A. This is what the mucosa membrane is made of. But notice, let's pay attention to the first part, glycoprotein. Now, I made a statement and I keep making this statement. Whenever you find any disease, you're going to find a compromised mucosa membrane with a glycoprotein eating parasite that follows. Huh? What the government know that we didn't know? We're going to find out. Let's keep it going. I ain't going to be on here too long. I'm going to get straight to the point. Now, this is showing an actual woman, and all these parts are showing where her mucous membrane's at. We see that the mucous membrane starts in her mouth. We see that it goes down the trachea, goes inside the esophagus. It's all around the lungs, right? We see that it's in her skin. We see that it's in her intestines. But this is what I wanted to show. Yes, it's inside of her knees and her joints too. Huh? Don't a lot of old folk or a lot of people that's getting older, that's very sick of dehydration and got nervous system problems, have rheumatoid arthritis, and they say their joints hurt? Well, that's because the mucosa membrane have been depleted. There is none no more. So what we got to do, us as herbalists and us as healers must put that mucosa membrane back. Well, how we do that? We have to build back up the mucosa membrane. We have to build that up with alkaline herbs. We have to alkaline the body, bring the body to a state of alkalinity and get the acids from out of the body. Period. All these are dealing with what though? All these are dealing with parasites, because the only thing that eats mucosa membranes that's made of glycoprotein is what, y'all? Tell me, y'all, what is it? What eat glycoprotein? I talk about it all the time. What eat glycoprotein? And we know that glycoprotein is what makes up the mucosa membrane. What eats glycoprotein? Y'all got it? Yep, parasites. So whenever you're dealing with any of these diseases, there's a parasite that's lying dormant and somewhere in you, eating on these proteins, eating on your hemoglobin, eating on your iron phosphate, eating on your calcium phosphate, eating on your iron fluorine. You're dealing with parasites. It's what you're dealing with. I just so happen to just, this all I do. I eat, breathe, and sleep, and I live this. So I just so happen to perfect my craft here. So we know how to get rid of this stuff very easy. Now check this out. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Because look, the thing about this is it get very, very interesting, y'all. And then I'm going to stop for a minute because right now I'm on Facebook looking at y'all comments, but I can't see everybody on my YouTube. So I'm going to stop in a second and I'm going to make sure that everybody getting it, and I'm going to look at their comments as well. So I'm going to have to bounce back and forth, y'all, because again, we speaking on 3 different platforms at one time. All right, now let's get into a man. Look at this original man here. You see that mucosa secretion? We see it's all in his digestive tract, huh? The mucosa, the serous. Y'all see where it's at? It's inside of his knees. It's all throughout his body. The mucosa membrane, even down in his penis, even in the woman's vagina. That you can't have inflammation without a mucosa membrane, because that's what become inflamed. The membranes, the glands become inflamed. But wait till we get to what this government been doing though. Wait till we get to it. All right, now check this out. Let's do a little bit more reading real quick. Let's do a little bit more reading. All right, not only is the mucosa membrane made of everything I just said, but also ionic fluids, which includes bicarbonate, calcium, and look, everything I'm talking about right now is strictly alkaline. Calcium, magnesium, potassium, chloride, sodium, and others. Now, we know that sodium is a salt. Salt and sodium bind these other minerals, and that we call a salt solvent. And this is what used to stick your actual amino acids together, right? It says many also contains antioxidant nutrients, or what we call phytonutrients. It says many contain other specialized elements specific to the particular area of the body. Now let's keep reading here. It says, what is the purpose? Now we finna get into the purpose. What is the purpose for the mucosa membrane? Everybody think they know the purpose of the mucous membrane. Everybody tell you that the mucous membrane or mucus is disease. I've been telling y'all for years that mucus is a defense, but sometimes it do its job too well and it start reproducing itself at a massive rate, and then it starts smothering the cells. Because once it recognizes an intruder, or what we call an allergen, or what we call a parasite, it starts producing itself so much, and then it goes and smothers. Now the cells becoming corroded, or what we call cellular erosion, and then boom, manifestation of disease, which been there in the first place. Mucus was trying to help you out. And look, and just for people that don't know, mucus is a lipid, meaning that it is a alkaline. Yeah, y'all ain't know that y'all ain't know that, did y'all? Mucus is a lipid, which means it's an alkaline. Now check this out. What is the purpose of the mucous membrane? I'm gonna slow down for y'all. I seen somebody told me to slow down. Let me slow down. Each mucosa membranes provide specific functions. However, nearly all of them will also provide common purposes. Let's look at the common functions first. Now, I want to talk about the transporter medium, because the transporter medium is one of the main focuses and purposes of the mucosa membrane. Let me show you how important your mucous membrane actually is. And this is why we need to make sure it stays healthy. We need to make sure we're getting guaco in us. We need to make sure that we're getting guaco leaf in us. We need to make sure that we're getting black walnut hull in us. We need to make sure that we're getting chaparral, or what they call copperell, in us. We need to make sure that we flushing our bodies and cleaning our bloods with burdock root, right? I mean, we can keep going on. Marshmallow root, huh? Red willow bark, white willow bark. All these things actually aid and cleanses and re-strengthen the mucous membrane. All of these actually aids, cleanse, and re-strengthen the mucous membrane. Whenever you're dealing with AIDS, what do AIDS attack? What do HIV attack? It attacks the mucous membrane. It attacks the lungs, the airways. Notice what the coronavirus, what do the coronavirus attack? It attacks the lungs, the airways. All of these diseases always end up in the lungs. And that's why you see a full-blown AIDS patient die of what? Huh? Die of what? Pneumonia. Die of a common cold. And pneumonia and a common cold is what? A mucosa membrane inflammatory. That's what it is. Let's just keep it 1,000 here. This is not rocket science. All you have to do is buckle down and research and get out there and get your hands dirty, and you'll start seeing what's going on here. Disease and death is big business. Healing is so easy, y'all. So easy. Now check this out. It says transporter medium. Depending upon the type of mucosa membrane, this ionic fluid provides a transporter medium to escort nutrients and byproducts back and forth between the epithelial cells and the surface of the mucosa membrane. It says these elements includes oxygen, which is your breath. That's what you need for every cell by way of iron phosphate. Nitrogen. Nitrogen can be very acidic, but in this one, we're just going to use a simple amino acid structures. Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is because you breathing in oxygen, and then you have to, through cellular respiration, you have to get that carbon dioxide back out. And then the plants and the trees and the sun breathe this back in, and then for your exchange, they breathe back out oxygen to you. You see that? Hydrogen carbonate and others. In the intestines and the stomach, the mucosa membrane also transport nutrients such as amino acids, but he called the proteins. You see that? So we see that the mucous membrane is your transportation of proteins and amino acids, vital minerals, which they call vitamins, and others, a cross between the epithelial cell and the mucous membrane surface. So without the mucous membrane, or with too much mucus, or without enough mucus, you won't even have that highway or that transportation to get all the phytonutrients that you need into your bloodstream. If y'all understanding what I'm saying so far, type in some 7s and we'll keep going. And matter of fact, let me check on my YouTube family real fast, y'all. Let me check on them. I don't want to leave them out at all. It's my first time actually doing that with them, so let me pull them back up real quick. If y'all getting it so far, type in some 7s. Type some 7s in. I need a list, Aki. I got y'all. All right, the family on YouTube doing good. Okay, cool. All praises, y'all. Let's get back to it. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. It says some of these, such as sodium bicarbonate and chloride ions, provide the transport mechanism into the cell and tissue of the skin surfaces. So without the mucous membrane, your skin couldn't even breathe. Without the mucous membrane, your skin couldn't even look and observe the atmosphere and actually truly break down the light code frequencies and send messages back to your brain. Okay? It says provide the transport mechanism into the cells and tissues of the skin surfaces. These travel through openings or pores amongst the cells, attached to nutrients, oxygen, and other elements, transporting them. In other words, it says this is critically important to the intestines and the stomach, where the mucosa membrane transport nutrients through the intestinal and the stomach wall into the bloodstream. So the only way that you can actually get phytonutrients from your food, like remember, if you eat a hamburger right now, your body is going to break your stomach, and the hydrochloric acid is going to break all of that down into phytonutrients, into what we call simple amino acid structures. Unless it's meat, it's going to break them down to protein. That's going to go into the duodenum. Well, inside the duodenum, you have a lot of this mucus called the mucosa, the pyloric mucosa membrane inside the duodenum. What this mucosa membrane does is take all this phytonutrients, all this melatonin and serotonin, and it takes it to the blood capillaries through the duodenum, and it feeds it to your bloodstream by the way of iron phosphate. Iron phosphate take hold of an oxygen molecule. The oxygen molecule take hold of hydrogen. That hydrogen take hold of and it has an ionic play, and then it grabs every other mineral, and then literally it goes throughout your whole entire mechanism, and wherever you're lacking it, the blood drops these phytonutrients off to your body. That's what happens. All this is by way of the mucosa membrane. All of it. Y'all see that? Let's keep it going. If y'all understanding me so far, type in some 7s. If I need to slow it down some more, let me know. I want y'all to truly understand and get this, y'all. I want y'all to truly understand and get this. And once we break this down, then we're going to get into where these diseases come from, how they made them, and how to get rid of them. That's the very important part, how to get rid of this stuff. All right? And if anybody need to contact my office or my email and my office number is at the bottom scrolling through the page. We open up at 9. We close at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we open at 9 a.m. and we close at 4 p.m. The phone ring constantly all day, y'all. So it's kind of hard to get in, but it's either busy or beeping. And that's because we be on the phone a lot. So and the messages are most definitely full. So if I empty the messages out now, they'll be full again tomorrow. So just keep calling until you get in. If you want a for sure way to talk to me, most definitely book a consultation. The staff will reach out to you and they'll set a date and we can wrap. All right. Now check this out. It says the mucous membranes contain a host of immune cells. Now check this out, y'all. These includes immunoglobulins such as IgA. You got IgA, you got IgG, you got ImG or IgM. This is how you test to see if you got herpes. They test these things to see if you got HIV. Blood cells, T cells, CD4 cells. You see that? And it says in other that are looking to trap foreigners. This is literally what your mucous membrane do. It traps foreigners before they get any further. Now, once a parasite goes further than the mucous membrane, because your mucous membrane have been compromised, that's when it enters into a cell. But in order for it to enter into a cell, it have to enter the mucous membrane of your cell too. Because remember, you don't only have mucous membranes amongst your skin, it's in your bone, it's between your joints, and it's inside of your cells too. All right. It says once they find a foreigner, they will take it apart using one of many immune system strategies. All right, then it gets into the immune system strategies. How your white blood cells come and scoop it and swallow it up, and then it got acids inside of it and it breaks it down. But what they have done, what these people have done, the government have done, they have figured out a way to get these parasites and to get these RNA to pass into your DNA and truly destruct the immune cells. So we've been working with these acid herbs all our lives, like golden seal, like comfrey, all of them. We've been working with these acidic herbs, and that's why we're not healing. Echinacea, because these herbs cannot penetrate the cell. Only herb that can penetrate the cell, the same as these macrophages or the same as these parasitics do, is alkaline herbs that was created and made by Yahweh. These are the only herbs that can do that. All right. Now, we ain't going to get into the culture of the probiotics yet. Y'all can screenshot this and take a look at it. But I want that for my next lesson, so we're going to keep it pushing. All right, let's keep it going. Now, we just seen that it was talking about the IgA, the IgG, right? All these things are talking about the mucosa system, all right? The immunoglobulin G. Let's talk about it. It's first, okay, so it says first the immunoglobulin G is present in secretion of the human oral what? The human oral mucosa membrane. You see that? You see that? So now what we see when you go get tested for herpes and they tell you that your IgG came back and it was over 0.90 and it was 1 point this and 1 point that or 17 point this, they are checking your mucosa membrane of your blood cells. It says small and large intestines, the lungs. It says second number is the IgG secretion cells and the mucosa tissue and the levels of antigens, specific IgG, and the mucosa secretions or dramatically increase after both mucosa and systematic immunization. All right, so now we see that the IgG, the IgA, all of these are immunoglobulins, y'all. These are actually what you would call polypeptides or amino acid structures that's created and that's a part of the mucosa membrane and that's made to build up antibodies to fight any type of foreigner, any type of parasitic, any type of coronavirus, any type of virus that try to enter into you. Because remember, even though you have an inside of your body, inside your mouth is not inside of your body. Once something get in your stomach or in your intestines, that's not inside your body. Your urethra tube inside your penis and your vagina, that's not inside your body. Even though it look like it's inside your body, it's a tube and it's an opening from your mouth to your anus. It's an opening from the mouth to the tip of your penis. It's an opening from the mouth to the tip of your clitoris. So that's an opening. The reason why you have the mucous membrane, because the mucous membrane know that's an opening and you can breathe all these toxins, all these parasitics and these microorganisms in. So it gets stuck inside of this slippery, gooey stuff that we call mucus, and then it gets cleansed and pushed back out through cellular respiration. Y'all see that? Y'all get how that work? Now let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Because it gets deeper, y'all. All right. Now we're looking at the IgG tests again. It says test is a type of blood test that detect herpes simplex virus, HSV. You see that? So now we see that the IgG is a part of the mucosa membrane. So this showing you that herpes is a mucosa membrane infection. Herpes is a mucosa membrane infection, meaning it's an infection in the epithelial cells of your skin. HIV is too. It's a lung mucosa membrane infection. It's a red blood cell mucosa membrane infection. If you clean the mucosa, you cleaning out all this. They just haven't showed us how to do it, y'all. But I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. All right, where I'm at now. Let's keep it going. All right. Now it's talking about non-genital herpes simplex virus 1. Is a common infection that most often involves the oral mucosa or lips. Hey, if that ain't plain as day, I don't know what to tell you. So we seeing that herpes is in fact a mucosa membrane inflammatory due to a parasitic that eats off of what makes up the mucosa membrane, which is glycoprotein. And I'm finna show y'all that there is no difference between herpes. There is no difference between herpes, HIV, full-blown AIDS, cancer, Kaposi sarcoma. I mean, any of these, all of them are the same exact diseases with the same definition. They just changing the names for you can go to the pharmaceutical companies and pay them different prices of money. It's all about the money, y'all, and depopulation. You see that? Check this out. Watch this. And notice what happens when you do that. It leads to what? Poor dehydration, which what it says right here. So we must stay hydrated, y'all, because when you get dehydrated, your mucosa membranes becomes depleted. And once it becomes depleted, all these micro organisms and all these microparasitics that you can't see, that you only can see with a microscope, they flying around in the air and they just, man, your body done became a crib to them. Because the front door in the alarm system is the mucosa membrane. Once that break down, you done. You're done. Once that mucosa membrane break down, you done. You see that? Y'all telling me to stop and slow down. I slowed down enough. I'm keeping this train rolling, family. Let's get it. All right. Now, this is talking about herpes simplex viruses 2 and the genital mucosa. Y'all see that? This just shows you the insight into the mucosa host response to vaccine development. All right. Y'all look, it got the docket number and everything down here. Y'all screenshot that because I don't want to get into that right now. This just showing y'all that, in fact, herpes simplex virus is a part of the mucosa membrane being obstructed. So it makes sense when Dr. Sebi said disease is mucus. Disease is not mucus, but it makes sense once we break it down scientifically why he said it that way. Because in his mind, he wanted to think simple as possible. If I clean a mucus out of your body and rebuild your immunological system and rebuild your blood and rebuild your mucous membrane, then you won't have disease no more. So I most definitely get what he was saying. All right, check this out. Here we go. All right, this talking about early, let me see if I can blow it up more, family. This talking about early mucosa membranes. Now check out where this stuff come from. It says, other than the skin, which have been covered by the placenta fluid, our mucosa membranes are raw and not well developed at birth. Gradually, the probiotics begin. Now, what is the probiotics, y'all? The probiotics is biobifidum bacteria. I begin to colonize in the sinuses, the mouth, and the intestines. The mucosa membranes begin to mature. It said the maturity as well as we'll discuss in detail require a host of nutrients. So we need phytonutrients to keep our mucosa membrane built up. If you have a solidified mucosa membrane with some good foundations with phosphates, with carbonates, with iodine and bromine, which we're going to talk about later. We're going to talk about the 4 element T's. These things is what's going to keep the mucosa membrane built. If you want to cleanse the mucosa membrane, get the 3 bitters. Hell, buy my 3 bitters and look at my simple ingredients I got on there and start from there if you want to do it yourself. But you have to cleanse it and rebuild it, y'all. This is what's gonna keep coronavirus out. This was going to keep all these viruses out because they don't have no way in. They don't have no way to intrude inside of your cells because your first line of defense is your skin. Your second line of defense is the mucosa membrane. Then if they pass that barrier, now you still got mucosa membrane wrapped around each cell. So look, the parasitic literally got to fight overtime just to protrude through your cell because they have so many defense mechanisms already set up. Different layers of mucosa membrane. It says, as this colonization occurs, the body's epithelial cells and the mucus glands provide their balance of chemistry and protective attributes. All right. It says this is the basis for the hygiene theory, a product of many studies showing that infants and children that are allowed to roam the floors, parks, soils, and those among larger families have stronger immune systems. The reason why is because they're literally picking up bacteria. And as soon as they pick up this bacteria, your biobifidim bacteria inside your mucous membrane, it marks them. As soon as it marks them, it actually sends your T cells colonies and your B cells colonies to put something called an antigen on the tip of it. When it mark it and put a cellular marker on it, then your body literally builds an antidote for it. That's how you're able to test to see if you actually have HIV. That's how you're able to see if you have herpes and cancer. They're checking your antibodies and your antigens. That's the way you know. Y'all see that? All right, now let's keep it going. It says, all right, you read that part. It says, then there is a transporter mechanism. The mucous membrane utilize this sufficient quality in the ionic capabilities to transport nutrients among the epithelial cells, allowing them to function efficiently. It said it also transports toxins out of the area. So your mucous membrane brings in nutrients and brings in the Ruach HaKodesh, or what we call the spirit that bring life to the body. And then it finds these demons or these devils or these parasites or what we call toxins, and it push them out of the body through cellular respiration. It says assuming a healthy mucosa membrane. Now check this out, y'all, because I don't want to read too much because I want to get straight to the point. It says this thickened mucosa membrane. Hold on, family. It says this thickened mucosa membrane is typically in a hyperactive airway response. It says among COPD, asthma, hay fever conditions, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome. Look, I mean, anything eczema. Y'all know eczema is a form of what? Herpes. Dermatitis. Dermatitis is what? A form of herpes. Hive. Hive is literally an antigen outbreak from allergens and other skin irritations. All these things are attached to the mucous membrane. You can't show me one disease, I mean not one, that the mucous membrane have not been compromised. Not one disease that don't have a parasite that's eating the mucous membrane alive. You can't show me one disease. If you can prove that to me, I will send you $500 right now. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. Now check this out. When you actually get inside the mucus, it says mucus is secreted by tiny mucus glands that lies within the goblet cells, scattered throughout these epithelial surfaces. It says they are called the goblet because they are shaped like little goblet glasses, except their upper surface extends through the eternal surface in tiny fingers, or what they call cilia, right? It's where you get cilia or microvilli from that you see inside the intestinal walls. These are actually inside the skin too. They little fingers that help pushes things along and grab things and put things over here and put things over there. All right. It says in the intestines, the airways, they are called microvilli. It says on the skin and other surfaces, they are pores. It says yet all these functions are almost identically with respect to their production of mucus. Now, this is actually where mucus come from. A lot of people don't know how mucus is made. A lot of people don't know where mucus actually come from. Let's talk about it. It says the goblet cells and their endpoints both produce mucin, right? I mean, mucin through a process of contraction of glycolization. All right, this would happen. Glycolization or glycosylation. That's what it is. Glycosylation within the Golgi apparatus of the cell. So mucus is actually produced inside of your cells through something called the Golgi apparatus. Right? It says this glycosylation of proteins produce the glycoprotein that are in the mainstay of mucin. All right. Now let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get it. Now, what I want to show right now, before we go any farther, I want to show how these parasites actually get inside this cell. I want to show a video. This video was sent to me by a dear brother of mine from Straightway. His name is Chris Paul, man. Look, this spiritual brother of mine, when it comes to research, ain't nobody messing with him. I'm telling you, when it comes to research, ain't nobody messing with Chris Paul, y'all. This man can find a needle in a haystack, literally. He can find a needle in a haystack, literally, y'all. And he sent me this video, and this video backs up everything I've been saying. Now, I have articles, and this article is where this video come from, if y'all can see it. And this article shows that cancer is a microparasitic infection. It's by Laura Nora, Lyrranara. All right, now we're gonna read. We ain't gonna even read the article, which I done been through a million times. We're gonna get to the video and watch what this video says. So I most definitely want to give a shout out to Chris Paul, his son Jonathan, and his household. Man, that's a very intelligent brother from Straightway. Hey, and that man is one of the best researchers I know. I'm just keep hands down. Like straight up, you know what I'm saying? Other than my research, Dr. Sabi and a couple other bros. I mean, I'm gonna give it to Layla Africa too. That's a good researcher too. But hey, Chris Paul will straight find a needle in a haystack, quick for you. Hey, he'll find it quick. And he sent me this video, so we're gonna play this video. If y'all ready for the video, type in some nines. Let me check my YouTube real quick. All right, y'all see y'all in here, family. All right, let's get it. Y'all ready for the video? All right, let's look at this video. This is a deep video, y'all. And let me know if y'all can actually hear, the voiceover on the video. If y'all can hear the actual voice from the video, say I can hear it, and I'm gonna play it.
Go and do so now. And in this video, we're going to show you the video microscopy of those microparasites, how they behave, and why there is indisputable proof that cancer indeed is a microparasite, a very renowned.
You see that? So he's saying that they got indisputable proof that cancer is in fact a parasite. All right. Now look, remember, cancer before 1980, whether it was HIV, whether it was leukemia, whether it was full-blown AIDS, whether it was herpes, whether it was Kaposi sarcoma, all these things were called cancer. All right. Now we have to keep that in mind while we watching this video, because he's gonna go back to this date, y'all, and he's gonna show you that there any viruses you talking about is a parasite. Y'all been saying this for years. I don't care what the virus is, it's a parasite.
In Munich, Germany, and unfortunately has not gained much traction despite the proof that you're gonna see in this video. So without further ado, let's watch the video and what the scientists have observed, and you can see for yourself and make up your own opinion and mind. And then afterwards, we're gonna talk about some implications of that proof and some consequences that we can draw from it, and how we should behave and how we should treat cancer patients therefore. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video proof of cancer as a parasitical infection.
This gonna blow your mind, y'all.
Let's go more than 30 years back in time. At the renowned Patent Cover Institute in Munich, Germany, 3 German medical doctors,
Oh, y'all see that? Now look, I don't mean to stop the video, but notice the date, 1970. Notice the date, y'all. 1970. Hey, it's gonna get deep. Because remember, 1980 is when the first when they first classified the name HIV and AIDS. All right, 1980. Now remember, they the Rockefellers and Kissinger and Gallo, all of them created this stuff inside of Fort Detrick military base in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. Now we finna see this stuff come on the scene, and look, they done had this evidence since then, and they've been hiding from us because they know if we found out that these things were parasites, then we would treat them accordingly like parasites. We here trying to heal all types of stuff, and we don't know that we need to be healing things in a parasitic nature.
Shearts and Dr. Winter were busy studying strange objects in human blood. They published their results in the renowned scientific journal Ärztliche Praxis under the title Unusual Corpuscular Elements in Blood. Here's what the article read. When counting red blood cells in human blood that has been thinned with saline solution, we can often detect corpuscles, which cannot be categorized as blood cells. Those are oval or grape-shaped particles with a length of 2 to 3,000 millimeters. We can observe those corpuscles in an astonishingly wide range of patients. We have also observed that those small oval forms can penetrate into red blood cells, which leads to a change in shape of the blood cells and the excretion of round objects after a certain amount of time.
Y'all hear that? So they said inside of every cancer patient that they have tested, they noticed that it's something that goes inside the red blood cells and change the shape of the red blood cells to start to break down the cellular tissue. Whenever the cells start breaking down, we call this cancer. So he's saying, look, there's something living inside of red blood cells inside of any cancer patient. All right. So I'm just going over what he's saying because he's a German speaking in English, and I know a lot of people probably ain't gonna be able to make out what he's saying.
Research has also shown that the described objects are most probably cells of a parasitical nature.
Ooh, what that say? That says that most likely all of these things inside of these cells are of a parasitic nature. Yeah, he just said that. Now look, y'all ain't crazy. It's actually a white man telling y'all this. Y'all gonna believe me now? Huh? Just saying.
Blood infection according to Dr. Weber. Another medical doctor of that era, Dr. Alphonse Weber, conducted similar experiments since the early 60s and realized before the doctors of the Max von Pettenkofer Institute that the agile corpuscles were the cause of the blood infection.
These are red blood cells.
Experiment in the 60s to.
Do y'all see this? This is a red blood cell, y'all. This circle, this little oval circle is a red blood cell. Do y'all see this parasite? This parasite going inside of the red blood cell. Do y'all see that? If y'all can see that, type in some nines. This is what we're looking at. These are cancer patients. What have they been up to in these militaries? Huh? What they've been doing in these military bases? What they've been doing at these pharmaceutical companies? They've been bioengineering and attaching them to RNAs and putting them in vaccines, putting them in foods, putting them in our air, putting them in chemtrails, all of that. Then boom, welcome to HIV, welcome to herpes, welcome to the coronavirus. Y'all see that? Type in some nines if y'all can see that and we'll keep it pushing. I know I got a little delay here. Yeah, this is called biochemical warfare and deterioration of the original man and woman. All right, cool, they can hear it. Let's see it.
And created thereby unique evidence. The microparasites described by Dr. Weber that you can see here can be found in the tissue of all cancer patients.
You see that? So it says, look, it says that all cancer patients, these microphages or these parasites can be found in all cancer patients' tissues and cells. That's what it just said. I ain't said that. Well, I have said that, but I got somebody backing me up now with the proof that's in the laboratory that's looking at this stuff. You see that?
Here
look at him moving around, y'all.
Sample that has been dried over a flame. The patient suffers from leukemia.
You'll see this leukemia patient and these, look at these things roaming around inside of your bloodstream.
You see the blood sample of a patient suffering from liver cancer.
This liver cancer, fluke worms.
Here the blood of a patient with bladder cancer.
Bladder cancer. Y'all see these things moving around?
And this is tissue from the bladder carcinoma. You can clearly see the lively movements of the microbes. Here, the diagnosis is that of lymph node metastasis.
Look at that, lymph node cancer. Y'all see these organisms roaming around?
An almost mature gamete. He can be found in the space between the cells.
Y'all see him moving there? There you go. Look, he done stuck his little head out of the cell. Y'all see him? He done stuck his little head out of the cell. All diseases, all viruses, again, comes with a mucous membrane compromising situation with a glycoprotein eating parasite that follows behind it. All of them. Whether it's herpes, you're dealing with a hemith worm. Whether it's HIV, you dealing with a microsporidia. Whether it's STDs, you dealing with something called trichinoma chlamydia. Whether it's any type of lung disease like AIDS, you dealing with Legionella. You see that? I mean, we can keep going. Plasmodium, all these so-called viruses and diseases are in fact parasites that chew the glycoprotein that your mucous membrane is made of, then make its way into your bloodstream, and then it drives itself into the mucous membrane of your cells, and then it eats the inside of your cells from the inside out because it loves to feed off of glycoprotein and iron phosphate. So somebody that said they have sickle cell anemia, sickle cell, meaning that the phosphate and the oxygen molecule have been taken off in the cell. I wonder who ate that. Malaria, which is cancer of the liver. A lot of people get that from Africa. All these things are the same exact diseases made by the government inside of military-based laboratories. All of them. They're the same disease.
And here a blood sample after mammal surgery. You can see a dying leukocyte. Patient is suffering from breast cancer.
You
Diagnosis, cell complex of an uterus tumor.
That was breast cancer. Parasites making a tumor. Parasites making tumors, y'all.
This is the blood of a patient suffering from a lip carcinoma. And here cells of a lung carcinoma. In the lower left part, you can clearly see red blood cells in.
Y'all see it moving around inside the red blood cells?
Microparasite.
And this is somebody with lung cancer. Notice what's going on inside the red blood cells of the alveoli of the lungs. It's a parasite right here just wiggling his head. And this in lung cancer. So the cells is not eating themselves, y'all. The cells is being ate by acidosis and parasites. You're literally being eaten alive. That's why herpes is called the creepy crawler. Start looking up the names of these diseases. They all sound like parasites because they are.
Here, a tumor cell from a bladder carcinoma. You can clearly see the vacuoles. String-shaped structures.
Do y'all see that? Look at that. Well, I know y'all just seen that. Let me go back a little bit. Look at that parasite. Let me plug my computer up before it go dead, too.
Here, a tumor cell from a bladder carcinoma. You can clearly see the vacuoles. String-shaped structure.
Y'all see that string-shaped structure? What they call them is strings and sticks because it's so many of them, they don't even have names for all of them. So they call them germets. They call them youth germets. They call them strings. They call them sticks. Plasmodium, rickets, Legionella, chlamydia, Toxoplasma, microsporidia. All of these are in fact parasites that manifest in your body as diseases, y'all, because your mucous membrane and your lymphatic system been stagnated and your mucous membrane have been compromised.
Yes.
Now look at what they do. You see that? This mug got all
recordings have one thing in common. You can see certain reoccurring types of microbes in all of them.
Y'all see that moving?
There is no tumor tissue without these microbes.
You see that? There is no tumor tissue without these parasites. There is no tumor tissue. There is no cancer. There is no HIV. There is no herpes. There is no viruses without this parasite being in a tissue. Period. Yeah, biochemical warfare and deterioration of the original man and woman's health, y'all. That's what's going on. Depopulation.
There is no blood of a cancer patient without those microparasites.
Ooh, what did he just say? There is no blood of any cancer patients without these microparasites. Look at them all through here moving around. Look at them. And then they start off micro, they call youth germets, then they grow big. They grow big, and then you're able to see them coming out. I got so many pictures of a lot of my clients. And how many pictures you think we get a week of somebody pooping out some type of parasite or a parasite coming out of some opening? Man, I'm talking about so many of them.
the microparasites that have not yet been acknowledged by mainstream medicine.
Y'all see these parasites moving around? Look at this.
Has been comprehensively shown by Dr. Weber. They belong to two species. A. String shape, grown up. Their length is 2 times that of a red blood cell.
All right, so they call these ones string shape, and it's 2 sizes the length of the red blood cells, the hemoglobin cells. Y'all see it? Here go the head, here go the tail, all the way right here. Look how long this is. Just going through, growing and eating and surviving off of you, eating your blood cells, eating you from the inside out. Now we know what cirrhosis of the liver is. The liver is being eaten from the inside out by fluke worms, by macrophages, by parasites. Now we know what herpes is. Your nervous system is literally being ate up by the hemith worm. Now we know what gonorrhea and chlamydia is. Chlamydia is actually a parasite. Look it up. Look up the name. That's a parasite. Matter of fact, hold on real quick. I got a picture of it. This chlamydia right here, y'all. Trichonomia, or whatever you call this thing. That's chlamydia. Look it up. Look at what it looked like. It looked like a jellyfish. This is a microparasitic called chlamydia that lives inside the glands, inside the tip of your penis, or lives inside the glands behind your clitoris of a vagina. Yes, all STDs are parasites. Again, I got $500 for anybody that showed me a disease that don't have a compromised mucosa membrane and that don't have a glycoprotein eating parasitic that follow behind it. You can show me that with infallible proof. I will send you $500. Cash App, whatever you want me to, whichever way. I will send it to you right now. You can't do it because it don't exist. We've been lied to, y'all. We've been lied to, and this is the reason why I'm getting my team. I'm not going to say because we're working as a unit. My whole entire team is getting so many healing testimonies because we know what we're dealing with. Now you know. Now you know. Potential healers, future healers. Now you know what you're dealing with. We've been eaten alive, y'all. We've been eaten alive. All right, let's keep it going. Let's get back to the video. I'm getting kind of excited, y'all. My bad. I get like that sometimes.
B. Stick-shaped. This is the most commonly found shape. The length of this gamete is about the diameter of a red blood cell.
Look at this little fat thing just going around eating red blood cells, eating the iron phosphate up out of your blood cells. And they say the most anemic people in the world is black folk. That's because they've been giving all our people these damn parasites, sucking all the iron molecules and iron phosphate and iron fluorine up out of your body. Look at this. It's a whole parasite entering into the cell. So in order to get there, it had to eat the glycoprotein mucosa membrane that's surrounding the cell. You see that? Then it eats the inside of the cell. And what's inside the cell? The Golgi apparatus, which produces the mucus in the first place. So it's even eating the thing that helps protect your body.
The youth form of both species are round or oval-shaped. In normal blood tests, those parasites normally remain undetected as they're hiding inside of the red blood cells.
Now, that's the part I wanted to get to. You see that? You see what it says? It says normally these things go undetected because they're hiding inside of the red blood cell. Well, when something hides behind any type of mineral, you can't pick it up and see it. And tells it eats the iron phosphate. Now, remember in a video I did 2 years ago, I said that the hemith worm burrows itself into your nervous system and it hides behind aluminum. It hides behind iron. It hides behind all of these precious metals for you can't detect them. They say this is called being dormant. The moment it eat up the iron, then it expresses itself and it poops. Then you get outbreaks because it's starting to give inflammation into the mucosa membrane of the epithelia of the cells. Now you're seeing bumps and blisters and canker sores. So the reason why, and look, you can have herpes for up to 20 years and get tested every single day and you will not be positive on your IgG. Why is that? Because the antibodies haven't detected it because it's been hiding for so many years. Then one day it finally, due to stress hormones and cortisol and estrogen and progesterone, it finally want to express yourself. And all of a sudden you beating up your man or you whooping on your woman because you think she done had sex with somebody. And Negro, you got that from a vaccine when you was 4. Didn't you have chicken pox? Oh, you had herpes. Didn't you have smallpox? Oh, you had herpes. Did you have acne? Oh, you had herpes. Huh? Did you have chronic eczema? Oh, you had herpes. So you been had this when you was a child. You had this when they gave you a vaccine when you was 2 years old called the zoster vaccine or the hepatitis B vaccine. Huh? You can get this stuff from eating. You can get this stuff in your kitchen, y'all. They putting this inside of fetuses and putting them in McDonald's. It's inside your fries. This stuff is in, you can breathe this stuff in now. What you think the coronavirus is? That's airborne cancer or airborne HIV that literally attacks the cells of your lungs, and literally your lungs suffocate and fill up with mucus, and you die, and you literally drown to death without even being in water. You suffocate. Look up the actual definition and what the coronavirus do. It attacks your respiratory system. Well, what is a respiratory virus? All of them is attached to HIV. That's why HIV patients that so-called develop AIDS, immune system disease, always die of what? Pneumonia, the common cold, a hard cough, or any other thing that flies on in. I'm telling y'all the truth.
Are perfectly camouflaged by the exterior of the blood cell.
Y'all see all these
the inner of
parasites,
the blood cell
man?
also offers plenty of food in the shape of oxygen and hemoglobin.
You see that? Now look, hold on. We missed something critical there. It says their main food was oxygen and hemoglobin. Whew. And man, I got parasites after parasite. I mean, I got a paragraph after paragraph talking about this stuff right here in my hand. These are actually articles from doctors, y'all, that's proving this stuff. Man, like, again, shout out to my spiritual brother, Chris Paul, man, from Straightway. He part of the research team, straight up. We got article after article proving this stuff. But I'm talking about, look, undeniable proof that all these diseases are the same exact disease. All of them.
Pound shape. The length of this gamete is about the diameter of a red blood cell. The youth form of both species are round or oval-shaped. In normal blood tests, those parasites normally remain undetected.
Now watch what it's going to say.
Hiding inside of the red blood cells. They are perfectly camouflaged by the exterior of the blood cell. The inner of the blood cell also offers plenty of food in the shape of oxygen and hemoglobin.
All right, it says the inside of the blood cells offer plenty of food to the parasites in the shape of oxygen and what? Hemoglobin, which is iron. Who was they trying to target here, y'all? Now remember, the Caucasian mineral is zinc and copper. What's our mineral? What's the so-called African American Negro mineral? Iron phosphate and iron fluorine. Now it's going to show you how this thing works, y'all. The
parasite enters as a so-called merocyte, the youth form into the cell, and fattens up and grows to its full size.
You see this parasite growing? Look at how the parasite growing inside of the red blood cell.
2 gametes inside of the blood cell can be seen here. When the cell has been eaten empty, the sexually mature gamete leaves the cell and looks for a partner to exchange DNA with.
You hear that? So when the parasite eats the inside of the cell, it leaves the cell. Then the cell goes through something called uncontrollable cellular mitosis, where the cell break apart. So now the gamete or this parasite is big enough, it's full. Now it want to have sex and literally give its DNA or RNA to somebody else. This is where you hear the cancer has spread it. Or this is where you hear the HIV have turned into full-blown AIDS. Or this is where you hear the dang, now you have severe chronic hepatitis. This is when it gets worse, because now these parasites are in your body having sex. Huh? Do you know parasites causes homosexuality? When you actually get into the Gospels and you get into the Nazarenes and you really start getting into a lot of Christ's teachings and you get into where they was being light beings over there, they actually said that demons or parasites that come from the body, they actually said that when they was fasting for 90 days, they didn't drink, they ain't do nothing, they ain't eat nothing, they just fasted, that worm-like structures was coming out of their bodies and they called them demons. They call them demons. Get into the Nazarene gospel. They talk about these parasites thousands and thousands of years ago and call them demonic entities. Yeah, y'all don't want to hear that, huh? It's getting hot.
Let's have a closer look at the parasites. We can see the stick-shaped A and the string-shaped microbes. Both species start off as tiny oocytes or merocytes.
You see the oocytes and the merocytes? This is how they start off. They start off real small.
It's called a trophocyte, which grows up to become a sexually mature gamete.
Ooh. Parasites inside you just growing, y'all. Just growing. Look, I think I'm one of the most healthiest people on earth. I constantly take herbs, eat healthy. I just passed the parasite. What? How long ago was that?
One merocyte.
A couple weeks ago, I passed the parasite. That's why you have to constantly cleanse and fine-tune yourself. I passed one.
After the other into the blood plasma. And here you see the string-shaped type D.
And I want to move it on, y'all. I want to move it on. Just get into how it okay, now this is what we get. This is what we getting at. Okay, y'all. Here it go.
With walls.
All right, y'all see these walls? These are your mucous membrane right here. Notice it got little openings of the pores, or what they call porions. All right. Now, this is your red blood cell, y'all. This is going to show you how these macrophages, or how these parasitics get in and protrude through your mucous membrane. Remember, the mucosal membrane is the most important defense on your body, other than your lymphatic system, y'all.
And the pores through which gases can be exchanged.
Okay.
It is surrounded by the connective tissue. Even though the blood vessels have pores, they only allow for fluids and dissolved matter to pass through.
Y'all see this compromised mucous membrane? It's compromised. Pieces of it been eaten off. Now it's going to show you that the parasite, even though it done bit off pieces of it, it still can't get through all the way. But once it becomes all the way broke down, now you done opened your body up to hell. You demonic possession, or what we call demonic or cancerous or disease infestation. Is all the same thing. A demon and a sickness is the same exact thing.
Even the youth form of the parasite is just too big to pass through.
Y'all see the parasite trying to get through, but it can't.
That means that a person is infected by those parasites, but not ill yet.
You see that?
The defense cells of the immune system keep the number of parasites in check.
See that? So the mucosal membrane keeping the parasites in check right now.
Here you can see such a police cell of the immune system.
Now that's your white blood cells.
Observe the so-called pseudopodia, the tentacles that are covered in sticky slime with which the leukocyte catches intruders.
You see how these white blood cells catching these parasites? But these parasites smart, man. They got mechanical mechanisms in them.
Are then being transported into the innards of the cell and are thereby neutralized. It buzzes like a swarm of hornets in there, as you can see.
Look at all these parasites.
As
don't they look like a bee nest, a straight hornet's nest? Inside of this big old white CD4 cell. That's inside of the white blood cell. Huh? Now what's going to happen is all these parasites is going to start eating everything up out of it. And then the white blood cell is going to mutate and divide and separate. This is what you call cellular mitosis. Then after that, it dies, cellular apoptosis. So now we see that uncontrollable cellular mitosis and apoptosis, which is damaged, mutating, dividing cells, or what they call cancer, is nothing but a parasitical infection.
And this cell arrives at the liver with its prisoners, where it is chemically destroyed by huge eating cells called macrophages, as can be seen in the animation.
See the white blood cells eating up the parasite. That's how it's supposed to work.
How big the burden of the infected blood cells become in the end can be seen here. Dr. Webb, right?
We're going to stop there right here. We'll do the rest.
the
So my next
supposed
one.
cell
Let's get this.
organelles.
Let's stop that. Now let's get into another one. I want to get into another one to show how all these things come from monkeys, and we finna get to it. So I want to go back here real quick. Let's pull it back up. All right, I think I left off right here. All right, now let's pull this up. So this actually showing. All right, look at this original man. Now we seeing where this mucosa membrane starts at. It starts in the mouth and in the nasal cavities. It goes all the way down the esophagus, the trachea, into the lungs and the bronchi, right? All the way to the stomach, down to the duodenum. This thing literally covers every inch of your body, y'all. Every inch. Every inch of your body it covers. Okay? Let's keep it going. Then we're going to get into the so-called conspiracy here. All right, this is the vagina. What's that called? Vagina mucosa. You see that? Look at the glances. These glances right here in the vagina mucosa actually produces that wet-like substance. Huh? So it mixes with something called estrogen. And this estrogen gives the vagina that moist, that vaginal discharge, that healthy vaginal discharge actually is a light form of mucus coming out the vagina. So husbands, when you talking about you and your wife and it feels good or it's wet, you're literally, that's mucosa there. No, it sounds weird, but it is. That's mucosa. Now, what happens if this mucosa becomes infected or this mucosa becomes inflamed? Huh? What happens then? Then you get yeast infections. You start seeing all types of things come up out of there. But notice even the vagina have a mucous membrane, y'all. All right, I want to say too much without getting too X-rated there. Now check this out. Let's go into the male penis. The male penis have it too. You see that? The glances inside the male penis, inside of this, at the head of the penis, you actually have glances here. And when it gets inflamed, it pinches the tip of your penis. So if you have an inflammatory disease, such as chlamydia, which is a parasite, or STD, such as herpes, which is a parasite of STD, or pelvis inflammatory, which is nothing but a parasite and an STD, these glands become swollen. So when you pee through the urethra and you come out the tip of that penis, it burns and it feels like razor blades. That's because the mucosa membrane have become inflamed. Now, why is the mucosa membrane inflamed? Because you have a parasite there that's literally chewing on the glycoproteins that makes up the mucosa membrane and the glands. And it's just talking about the glands. It says the glans penis, more commonly referred to as the glands. You see that? Now, what I want to get to is the basic thing. It is the foreskin that maintains the mucosa in a moist environment. Y'all see that? It's also a semen removal device in the vagina. Whew. You see that? All this is by the mucosa membrane. So whenever you have an STD, guess what's been compromised? The mucosa membrane in your private area. Whenever you have any disease, guess what's been compromised? The mucosa membrane. Let's keep it going. Look at this. Now, this is talking about the tip of the penis. It says that it's a mucosa in the penis and the epithelium inside of it. Hold on. I want to get to the color, it says. This ain't the one. Hold on, family. It's talking about the color of the mucus. And I was going to get into how when you have certain type of STDs, certain type of stuff I be seeing in pictures, man, it fits perfectly. Mucosa of the skin. This talking about the clitoris and that one. Hold on. I got to find it, y'all. Well, before we get there, let's keep it going real quick. Let's keep it going. I don't want to get off subject too much. Now, let's get into what the CIA have been doing, y'all. If y'all ready to see what the CIA been doing and how to heal this stuff, type in some nines. Let me know you ready. Type in some nines. Let me know you ready. We got about 15 more minutes. I'm gonna answer some questions. I'm gonna get up out of here. If you ready for that, let me know. Let me check on my YouTubers. I see y'all can hear it good. All praises. Hallelujah for that. All right, I see y'all in the building. Let me get back over here. All right, y'all ready? Type in some nines. All right, so what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the CIA's human experiments. The CIA's human experiments. Now, remember in my last video, I talked about how certain individuals actually created AIDS, right? And created all these diseases. So let me pull out of that real quick and pull up in here real fast. Now, remember Robert Gallo? Remember this guy, the creator of HIV and AIDS? Remember him? Yeah, this devil right here. He the one who actually created AIDS. He created AIDS through something called the SARS virus. It was a virus that was actually inside the kidneys of something called the rhesus macaque monkeys and the green African monkey. What they did was they took contaminated glycoproteins from the kidneys of these monkeys. They matched it with a cat's RNA and a rat's and pigeon RNA, and they put it inside of vaccines and gave it to us. This is where all these diseases started from, inside of Fort Detrick military base. These are biochemical weapons, y'all. These are biochemical weapons. Whether you're talking about HIV, herpes, chlamydia, any of these are biochemical weapons used as biochemical warfare. Yeah, Robert Gallo, this guy right here. Who else was with him? Who else was with him? Henry Kissinger. Look at this devil. Y'all remember him in my first video? He's the one who funded the project. This billionaire, which is also a Rothschild. He ain't gonna say his real name. He's also a Rothschild. Yeah, these guys, Henry Kissinger. Yeah. Who else we got here? Let me show you all these devils real quick, and we're gonna keep it pushing. Roy Ash. It's another one, Roy Ash. He the one who passed the bills. Him and Henry Kissinger, when they worked for the White House, they the one who passed the bills through the president, through Ronald Nixon and them, to get it passed to do human experiments on us. Man, they was in Africa stealing our people, doing all types of stuff to us. In Atlanta, in St. Louis, in Alabama, the Satigi experiment, where they gave all of them syphilis in Alabama. They came through here and they sprayed herpes in the air in 1962 inside of East St. Louis streets in downtown St. Louis. All this happened at Fort Detrick military base inside of Maryland. Under these umbrella companies. Have military, biochemical weapon military contracts with pharmaceutical companies, with vaccination companies, with food industry companies. Why do you need biochemical contracts with food companies, y'all? Because they've been changing it, and they've been changing and genetically modifying our foods, splitting DNAs and putting certain type of parasites in our foods. So now you get the toxicoma plasma parasite from certain soys that you eat, and now you get feminine thoughts. Yes, y'all, I have an article right here. Y'all. Yes, homosexuality is caused by a parasite. Let me find it. Y'all think I'm playing, huh? That's going to be our next lesson. Let me see. Here we go, right here. This article right here, y'all. Check this out. It says, is it really me? Parasites and other human cells in our brain changes our psychology. Ooh, you see that? It says many people are suspicious about being manipulated in their emotions, thoughts, and behaviors by external influences. It says, may those be drugs or advertisement. It says, however, it seems unknown, but most we see that they're all inside of our bodies. Now, it talks about the humans and the superorganism and how microbes, viruses, imprinted genes, and selfish entities shapes our behaviors. Now, it actually goes and show a picture. It shows a picture, y'all, of this parasite. Check this out. This parasite loves to eat the molecule of soy. That's why soy have men growing breasts. Have you growing breasts, eating your iron phosphate. Have you thinking homosexuality thoughts. Women too. Now check this out. It says the human cell infected with Toxoplasma gondii. All right. Toxoplasma gondii. There are microbes that have specialized on living as parasites in our brains, and animal brains including. It says in such microbes as Toxoplasma gondii, typically Toxoplasma aims to get into cats. Now, the reason why I want to bring up cats is because we finna show how they mix green monkeys with with the Reese monkey, and then they mixed it with cats protein, and how they came up with HIV and how they came up with leukemia and all these other things, which all of them are the same disease, y'all. And they gave it to us through vaccination and through our food, right? It says typically toxoplasma aims to get into cats and where it can reproduce and lay eggs in their intestines to achieve it. Toxoplasma goes via rats. It says with several. Let me get down to the whole thing. Hold on, I want to get down to it. Bing, bing, bing. All right, now this is talking about when it gets inside of humans. It says when we talking about humans, when we get infected, the toxoplasma synthesizes an enzyme to increase the production of our neurotransmitter dopamine, oxytocin. Do I need to keep going? Dopamine, oxytocin, and tryptophan. It says in our brains. Also, our immune system responds to this microbe with breaking down into the amino acid tryptophan. It says these reactions, it seems to have a considerable impact on our mental health and behaviors. Now, as Karamir and Bonsir report, Karamir, look him up. He a doctor. Kramer and Breeson, Bressn. It says the affection is associated with the working place of traffic accidents, possibly because it renders less careful and slow down the reaction, whatever and whatever. All right, forming human cells. Hold on, where we at? Man, I'm missing a page. Hold on. All right, here you go. Check this out. Here you go, y'all. It says this is especially likened to happen into males, and his body cells carry the protein linked to his Y chromosomes, which the mother's body carries no Y chromosomes, can classify as an alien or produce antibodies against. These antibodies can become deactivated molecules inside of the fetus brain. It says some of these molecules seem to play a crucial role in your sexuality preferences of the brain, and the deactivation that can lead to the redirection of sexual orientation of this male brain towards the more female end. Do y'all see that? Hey, look, this is straight parasite, y'all, that's causing Negroes to be gay, causing women to be gay. Y'all want to download this and read this, y'all? It's called Is This Really Me? Parasites and other human cells in our brains changing our psychology. It was printed in July the 24th, 2015. All right, Practical Ethics, y'all. They got all the sightings and everything on here. Y'all see that? Now let's get back to them. So look, so homosexuality and demasculating the man is a biochemical weapon as well, y'all. All right, now we got Roy Ash. Now remember all of them started this, y'all. They started the National Cancer Institute. Now, we know that this is a military company, y'all. Now remember, all these things was called cancer before they came up with the name HIV, AIDS, herpes, and all of that. All of it was called cancer. All these things are backed by these evil people right here. All right, now let's get into the thickest of things. All right, it says within a year, however, more military CBW misdeeds gain notary. Come read this for me. Come read this. Let me get somebody that can read, y'all. Let me get somebody that can read this thing. Hold on, let me blow the screen up for you. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Get somebody that can actually read this for y'all, because I'm gonna be messing up all y'all words. Y'all gonna be mad at me. All right, let's get it. That word was I at. All right.
So at the top.
Yep, read all of it.
Okay. Within a year, however, more military CBW misdeeds gained notoriety. Newspapers throughout North America carry stories about the Joint Army Navy CIA.
Oh, so hold on. We got the Army Navy CIA. Come on.
Germ warfare.
Oh, the Army Navy CIA germ warfare
experiments conducted from 1953 to 1970.
Now, remember when we watched that all cancerous parasites video, what was the last date it went to? Remember I said, remember the date, 1970, right? Let's keep it going.
During this time, tens of thousands of people in New York City and in San Francisco were experimentally exposed to airborne germs.
Hold on. So all of these things became airborne, just like the coronavirus. Uh-oh. Somebody been exposed here. Come on.
Serratia marcins. I'm not sure how you pronounce
It's
it.
better you read it than me because I'm going to mess it all the way up.
Bacillus globigi.
Uh-huh.
The bacteria first considered benign were later determined to be pathogenic.
Ooh, to be what?
Pathogenic.
Now, what does pathogenic mean? That means parasites, family. So look, these airborne germs became parasites. I ain't say that. He said it. I've been saying this for years, y'all. For years. Come on.
Okay. So the bacteria first considered benign were later determined to be pathogenic since at least one person died.
Uh-huh.
And many came down with pneumonia.
Came down with what?
Pneumonia-like symptoms.
All of these give you pneumonia-like symptoms, whether it's HIV, whether it's AIDS. I mean, all of them. Whether you first catch herpes, what the first thing they say? You get pneumonia-like symptoms, flu-like symptoms, then an outbreak occur. All of these things are the same exact disease made in laboratories that the CIA and all of these white devils I just showed y'all on here been experiments on us. And look, you know what's crazy? It's so much of an academic now. It ain't even just black people, y'all. I'd be lying if I sit up here and say that black people is the only people that got this. You know how many Caucasians have cancer and have HIV now? It's spreading. This is showing you a straight global depopulation mechanism that they got going on here due to the higher up, due to these reptilians, due to these shadow workers, y'all. Straight up. Man, look, it's a diabolical plot on the human race. They just hit us first. Now it's trickling down and hitting everybody. Come on.
The intelligence leak once again prompted hearings before the Senate Subcommittee on Health and Scientific Research.
Uh-huh.
This time, senators heard testimony that the CIA has secretly tested unsuspecting human subjects with a pathogenic bacteria.
Now, look, they testing us and we don't even know it. They going around in them mosquito trucks, acting like they spraying for mosquitoes at 6 p.m. and they literally spraying stuff that you breathe in that's going to give you HIV, that's going to give you cancer, that's going to give you, they got chemtrails and planes flying over you. Literally, man, I'm talking about putting all these germs, these airborne parasites or microorganisms in the air and you breathing them in. They putting them in pesticides in your food. They putting them in your water. They putting them in your vaccine. I mean, look, you need herbs in you every day of the week. You need to be cleansing your blood once a day of the week. You need to be on your 3 bitters all the time. You need to be cleansing yourself and keeping yourself up and keeping your mucous membrane, your mucosa membrane system strengthened. Because look, we getting it on every side, y'all. And look, let's not talk about your outlets. Let's not talk about the radiation from your phones, the computers, the TVs. I mean, look, it's so 5G network. Man, look, Earth is dying, y'all. Earth is dying. What are you doing about it? Come on.
Okay. The Congressional Investigating Committee, the Subcommittee on Health and Scientific Research, was then led by the Honorable Ted Kennedy.
Uh-huh.
The Massachusetts senator at the time also served as vice president of NATO's military committee.
Now, look, these NATOs is some wicked bastards, y'all. Hold on. You ain't done. These NATOs is some wicked bastards. Let's keep going. Look, let's keep going, y'all. It gets deeper. It gets deeper. Check this out. Now, look, let's read this stuff. Now, this shows you what they was doing, y'all. This shows you. So this says develop of AIDS-like viruses by Robert Gallo, which is that first heathen I showed y'all, and associates of NCI and Lytton Bionetics. Now, Lytton is this pharmaceutical company that owns the National Cancer Research. This is the pharmaceutical company owned by these Jewish people called the Rothschilds, y'all. Owned by the government. All right, come on. Read that. Let me blow it up for them so they can read that.
Okay. In 1971, Gallo and co-workers reported that a simian foamy virus, SFV, a common contaminant of monkey kidney cells, was used to make vaccines.
All right, so now, haven't I been saying this for years? That it's called SARS. It's glycoprotein, contaminated glycoprotein inside the kidneys of monkeys. They mix that with a cat. And this stuff literally creates something called cancer. At the time, that's what they called it. But once it started mutating and evolving, they called it HIV. They called it leukemia. They called it herpes. It's all the same disease, y'all. All the same exact disease. Come on.
Was the only one of 27 known retroviruses containing reverse transcriptase that could not cause cancer in humans.
Come on.
For this reason, little attempt to remove them from cancer virus cell cultures and viral vaccines was made.
Come on. Now y'all see it started from the Rhesus monkey, right? The Rhesus monkey or the Raccacue monkey. Now let's keep going. Y'all can trace this virus down. Now when they finna go into the cat. Come on.
Gallo's group. Now
remember, Gallo's is the white man who created HIV, who created AIDS, who created all of that. All right, come on. Hey, thank you, sis, for posting that article. Love you, sis. Thank you. Thank you, sister. That way they think I ain't making nothing up. Read all of that, y'all. Read them in week. Come on.
Okay, Gallo's group at the NCI and Litton's Bionetics also experimented with other simian and human cancer viruses and developed recombinants, i.e. mutants of these with other viral nucleic acid, including those that cause the prominent features of AIDS,
and
WBC,
white blood cell dysfunction, which is leukemia or cancer. Now check this out. Notice what it says. They was mixing stuff and they were experimenting with stuff and they made viral nucleic acids. All right, ribose nucleic acid and deoxyribose nucleic acid is your DNA. So they're making things to target your DNA, y'all. Come on.
Okay, leukemias, lymphomas, sarcomas, progressive wasting, and the ultimate death in cats, mice, chickens, and humans.
You see that? This stuff was made in a laboratory, y'all. We got proof. Come on.
All this in the likely presence of other easily mutated retrovirus contaminants.
Oof. All right, so look, now they got it into the cat. Now they finna put it into the bird, and then from the bird, it go inside your black butt. Come on.
Finally, these other NCI investigators.
All right, NCI stands for National Cancer Institute, which is that white piece of paper I showed y'all with them red letters. You see that? They doing all this. Come on.
Investigators injected such mutant viruses into human white blood cells and fetal tissue cultures to enable them to infect humans and even transmit the same diseases.
Do you see how wicked this world is, family? Y'all see that? Now look, human white blood cells, WBC culture. Notice with leukemia, what's being attacked there? The red blood cells are being attacked and depleted because the parasite that they created inside of these military bases enters into the mucosa membrane and enters inside the red blood cells and eat all the iron off of it. So that causes the white blood cells to start reproducing immaturely, and this is what they call leukemia. But if you look inside of HIV cancer, AIDS cancers, herpes, it's all the same thing, just different definitions of the same exact disease, y'all. Come on.
This work foreshadowed the observation made 10 years later by the CDC's chief AIDS researcher, Don Francis, who noted the laundry list of feline leukemia-like diseases associated with AIDS.
Oh, associated with AIDS. What it's saying is leukemia and AIDS are the same thing. That's what it's saying. All right. Now it's showing y'all the DNA series, y'all. Look this stuff up. All this stuff exists. It's out there on the web, y'all. They not even look. We don't read so much. They don't even try to hide this stuff no more. It's all out there. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. We got one more to read. Now, matter of fact, I'm gonna need you in a second. Let me get back to it. I want to show y'all a video now. Let me show y'all a video.
Greetings.
Hold on, fam.
Bossy Scott, Oxygen Therapy Consultant, Atlanta.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get it real fast. If y'all getting this real fast, let me know. Type in some nines. If everybody keeping up. I'm not trying to hold y'all too long, but I really want y'all to get this. I really want y'all to get this. Type in some nines and we'll keep it going. If y'all understanding and y'all keeping up so far. I ain't trying to be bore y'all or nothing like that. Okay, they got it. All right, now check this out, y'all. Let's read this other one. Now, this show y'all how they got herpes from this monkey, from these monkeys I've been talking about here. Check this out, y'all.
Greetings. This is Obasi Scott, Oxygen Therapy Consultant, Atlanta, Georgia. Just going to come back at you guys with a quick video to help you understand more about this parasite, this virus that they call herpes, that they said that there's no cure for.
Which there is.
First of all, you need to understand that this virus, this parasite, comes from an experiment research that was done on monkeys called the macaque monkey. And you can look it up. It's MACAQUE, the macaque monkey. It was done on that monkey, and the monkeys got loose, therefore spreading the virus to people. Now, let me tell you why this virus is such a bad thing. Because number one,
and before you keep going, notice this virus causes Alzheimer's disease. It causes Parkinson's disease. It causes blindness. This herpes virus causes blood deficiency, iron deficiency. This herpes virus causes so many other diseases. They're finally just now linking this stuff to a lot of other diseases, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It is, man, it's causing all types of stuff. That's why we must cleanse and rid this stuff up out of our bodies, y'all. Period.
Dormant in your system for years without showing any signs of it being there. Then
did I just say that? It lies in your system. It can be in your system from up to 20 years, hiding inside your nervous system. That hemorrhage worm hiding inside your nervous system behind iron and metal, and your blood would never detect it ever. So it finally expressed itself 20 years later, and you married, and you thinking that your wife done snuck out on you, or you thinking your husband done snuck out on you, or you think somebody done gave it to you and they straight didn't. Now let's not be stupid and simple. A lot of this is sexually transmitted. You know what I'm saying? And you done laid with somebody new, and then you got bumps a few weeks later. You know what I'm saying? Most likely, and it came from that too. But I'm saying in a lot of cases that I've been studying, in the patients and the clients we've been working with, that don't even be the case. We had somebody with full-blown AIDS. Tell them about the full-blown AIDS patients that didn't get it from her spouse. Remember that? Go ahead and tell them about the full-blown AIDS patients that didn't get it from their spouse, and they got it through some type of syringe thing inside the hospital.
Oh, a blood transfusion. Somebody called and was basically saying how they had been married for all these years, and all of a sudden they came up positive and they had full-blown AIDS. And basically, after kind of trying to figure out where it came from, it stemmed from a blood transfusion or something that happened in the hospital.
She straight traced that back to a hospital. Suing them right now for like $5.3 million, a client of ours. $5.3 million. She straight got full-blown AIDS, and she couldn't even track it down. She like, dang. And she like, every time my husband get tested, he show up negative. She like, I wonder where it came from. Man, look, done got into relationship problems and all that. She straight got that through a blood transfusion inside of a hospital, y'all. Well, they was doing something with needles. But this is just showing y'all the level of wickedness and the level of evilness they will go through to try to kill us, y'all. Seriously.
Then all of a sudden you get these pains, these flu-like symptoms, okay, and then you get outbreaks. Well, what has happened while that parasite was laying dormant, as they say, it was not so much dormant, it was very much at work producing amino proteins in your bloodstream.
So see that? Even though it's dormant inside the immune system, it's not dormant. That deal producing, it's eating, it's pooping, and it's making its own DNA and proteins to hijack your immune system. That's what herpes doing. Look, remember, there's no difference between HIV, herpes, full-blown AIDS, cancer, leukemia, sarcoma. There's no difference between none of them. It was all called the same thing in 1960. They just started changing the names to get different income and different insurance money.
Doubling and multiplying itself, and also using up all of your body's resources. So then what happens is your immune system literally becomes outnumbered. Okay. Your immune system literally becomes outnumbered.
Look at this monkey lip.
And it starts
Cankersaw.
to produce breakouts. It starts
look at this monkey face. Monkey that had a whole herpes episode all over his face. They get the kidneys of these monkeys and mix them with RNA, and then they give them to us through vaccinations.
In your body. Okay, now why do the doctors tell you that this parasite, this virus cannot
what did he just call it? He called it a parasite. What did he just call herpes? He called it a parasite, because all viral loads are parasitics. We just showed a whole video showing that.
Well, number one, if that could be cured, the demand is so high for people that have a certain degree of this virus. Is so
I just want to show y'all the different pictures.
Okay.
Look at that in the mouth.
on
Look at this stuff, y'all.
You this website at www.
And then man, it's a whole lot of stuff. Let me get out of this. Let's keep it going. I ain't trying to hold y'all too much longer. I want to get into a few more of them, then we're gonna keep it pushing. All right, so look, that shows y'all that. Now let's get into we don't need to go there. Let's get into the herpes ones. That's the leukemia one, but we running out of time. Now this show you how the herpes came about. Now remember, the herpes have over 108. The herpes have over 108 actual different strands. All right, we can break them down real quick. You got itchy elbow disease, which is herpetitis dermatitis. That's herpes. You got eczema herpetitis, which is eczema. That's herpes. You got chronic acne, which is herpes. You got chickenpox, which is herpes. Smallpox, which is herpes. Shingles, which is herpes. You got herpes simplex 1, which is the crankers in the mouth or in the Golgi of your nervous system. You got herpes simplex 2, which is the bottom of your spinal cord. It's so many different types of herpes, and all these things leads to Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, all types of brain dysfunctions, all types of blindness and glaucoma. All these is from this virus lying dormant for so long, and then it finally expresses itself. And when it finally expresses itself, it's not too late, but you already into other chronic ailments. Okay. Now this is showing you the movement of this. All right. So we're gonna have her read this real quick, and then we're gonna keep it pushing. What they say?
Theoretic manufacture of AIDS-like viruses from bovine leukemia and sheep Visna viruses.
So herpes literally came from leukemia. All right, come on. Now this shows you how it comes from this made up inorganic cow that Yahweh did not create or make. All right.
Okay. Strecker theorized that bioweapons researchers.
Ooh, what do you call them? Bioweapons. Come on.
Researchers began by mixing bovine leukemia viruses, which they knew were T-cell attackers, with sheep Visna viruses, which were recognized T-cell destroyers. They thus produced bovine Visna viruses.
All right, now these bovine Visna viruses are called BVV, right? Now let's read this.
Next, in order to get these viruses to cross the species barrier and infect human cells.
All right, now the species barrier is talking about the mucosa membrane. Look it up, y'all. All right, come on.
Strecker reported that researchers may have cultured them with herpes viruses or human white blood cells. The viruses were thus repackaged. Herpes virus envelopes, for instance, then contained genes for BVV, which could have easily created a virus that did everything the AIDS virus did.
Do y'all see this? All of these are the same exact diseases, y'all. Man, these people are wicked as all hell, man. Wicked as all hell. And then they know that certain chemicals won't actually go inside of the cell, the blood cell membrane. But guess what? Alkaline herbs created by Yahweh do. Especially if you know how to mix them right and do the right ratio. All right? Let's do one more. Now, these showing you the contracts, y'all. This showing you these contracts. Look, check this out. It says biological field testing, anti-personal biological stimulants involving public domain. This showing you all the stuff, the locations of tests where they came and tested. They tested in 1950 in San Francisco, California. You see that? Panama City, Port Mugu, California, Pennsylvania State. I mean, look, all of this. Look at this. Pennsylvania, Alaska, Hawaii, Washington, D.C., New York, Key West, Florida. Then they show you the stuff that they tested on us. And all these things become HIV, AIDS, and herpes. So you got the location of tests, the date of test, and the stimulant agent used. Look at these dates. I'm not making this up. Hold on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now, this one is called Fort Detrick. Now, remember Fort Detrick is a military base in Maryland. This is where all these things happened at, okay? Now, this says Fort Detrick biological weapons contracts and contractors between 1951 and that key date that I've been telling y'all about when cancer finally emerged on the scene, 1970. This showing y'all who all that they contracted through. Biogenetics Research Laboratories and the University of California, the University of Chicago, Litton Systems. This is a pharmaceutical company. Merck and Co. These are the same pharmaceutical companies, y'all. They hire mercenaries and everything, man. They've been killing people since the 50s. Anybody that's a whistleblower, if they get taken off the scene, it's by these companies. New York University. Look at all this, man. All in our faces, y'all. This is public knowledge. And then they show you the date that they terminated them per se on tape, on paper. But this stuff is still going on right now. Now, remember Fort Detrick, right? Fort Detrick military base is the ones who created these things, right? The military. Now, check this out. Fort Detrick. Let's talk about Fort Detrick real quick. Because once we get into Fort Detrick, man, it starts making a whole lot of sense. Now, remember, the National Cancer Institute is a part of the military base in Fort Detrick. Now, when you start really getting into this stuff, all right, read that real quick. Let's read this real fast.
The National Cancer Institute coordinates the United States National Cancer Program and is part of the National Institutes of Health, which is one of 11 agencies that are a part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The NCI conducts and supports research, training, health information, dissemination, and other activities related to the causes, prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of cancer, the supportive care of cancer patients and their families, and cancer survivorship.
Mm-hmm.
NCI is the oldest and has the largest budget and research program of the 27 institutes and centers of the NIH.
So notice it's the largest and it has the most budget. They got all the money they need to do what they need to do. Now, what I want to get is jump straight down into this right here. Where is it at? The research programs and what?
The research programs in Bethesda, Maryland, and at the Frederick National Laboratory for Cancer Research at Fort Detrick.
At what?
Fort Detrick.
Fort Detrick is a military base, y'all.
In Frederick, Maryland.
Is in Maryland, Fort Detrick. Now check this out. Let's go and track them down real quick. All right, so it said that it's in Fort Detrick. This Fort Detrick right here, family. Fort Detrick military base. All right, this Fort Detrick military base. Now let's see what Fort Detrick military base is about, and then we're gonna close out and ask questions. All right, Fort Detrick military base. Now, the crazy thing about Fort Detrick military base, what's the main thing on this page? National Cancer Institute. What? Let's read that real quick.
Okay, Fort Detrick is a United States Army Medical Command installation located in Frederick, Maryland. Historically, Fort Detrick was the center of the U.S. biological weapons program.
Hold on. So Fort Detrick was a part of the U.S. biological weapons program. We are talking about biochemical warfare. So who created cancer? The U.S. military, the government. Out of what? Fort Detrick military base, which owns National Cancer Institute. Oh, come on.
From 1943 to 1969.
Now, didn't the disease get brought out in 1970? That's what we keep reading, right? Match these dates. Numbers don't lie, y'all. Come on.
Since the discontinuation of that program, it has hosted most elements of the United States Biological Defense Program.
You see that? The what? United States Biological Defense Program. They've been testing their weapons out on us, family, since 1943, y'all. 1943. Now, let's just read Fort Detrick one more time as the early 2010s. Go ahead.
Okay, as of the early 2010s, Fort Detrick's 1,200-acre campus supports a multi-governmental community that conducts biomedical research and development, medical material management, global medical communications, and the study of foreign plant pathogens.
That's all I needed. Thank you. Now look, notice what's a part of that. The National Cancer Institute. All right, look, this is how you blow them wide open. Now this is the end game right here. It's the end game. Check this out. Check this out, y'all. Now, this actually shows the biological field. Hold on, I put the wrong one. My bad, family. Well, I guess we can stop there right there. I guess we can stop there right there. So this just shows y'all. Let me stop my thing real quick. Blow it up. Did I have anything else down here to show y'all? What's this? Oh, okay. Parasite infections that's associated with Kaposi sarcoma. Now y'all know Kaposi sarcoma is associated with the herpes virus. Just showing y'all that these are in fact parasites in a Ugandan woman. All right. Now let me stop sharing my screen, and then I can answer some questions. Stop screen. All right, family. What's up? Holla at me. Talk to me. Y'all got any questions whatsoever? Any questions so far? And then we'll get into it. So look, the main thing is that we need to do to get rid of this coronavirus or any of these viruses is truly rebuild up our immunological systems and rebuild up our mucosa system. All right, we have to build up our mucosa system. What do you recommend us to start the detoxification? What I'm going to recommend is my week 1 and 2 amino acid therapeutic package, because again, we rebuilding the mucosa membrane. We cleansing out your kidneys. We cleansing out your liver, your blood. I mean, all the cleanses starts and come with that, but you have to rebuild the system, y'all. So my amino acid therapeutic package, week 1 and 2, that's what I recommend. What we got? Yaki, my friend wants to have a cyst removed from his neck, and them devils paralyzed half of his face and then removed the cyst. Now they're talking radiation. What should he be doing? If they paralyze his face, that means he ain't getting no electricity up there. He ain't getting no electricity. So we need to bring oxygen back to that area to bring electricity back. You know what I'm saying? We don't worked on a paralyzed man that actually walking now. So it'll work. He most definitely need to get his berries, herbs, goji berries. I mean, all types of berries, salapato berries, juniper berries, and then get into things that's going to help out the nervous system, like wild yam root, like blue vervain, stuff like that. So he need to cleanse his system and get on that. Yeah, man, they killing us out here. Can name your bitters. We got some, go get some 3 bitters if they're ready. The 3 bitters, I just call them the 3 bitters. Bitter 1, bitter 2, bitter 3. That's what I call them. My wife has AP and stomach ulcers. Stomach. Hey, look, ready, red. Now, what's the stomach ulcers dealing with? Stomach ulcers is dealing with what? A compromised mucosa membrane inside the digestive tract. Once that acid starts chewing, once you don't have no more mucus inside the mucous membrane of the digestive tract, and then pathogens set in, and the acid, the hydrochloric acid get there, what it start doing? It starts burning the hole. Now you got a leaky gut, or what you call ulcers. So again, we have to aid and rebuild the mucous membrane system. Somebody asked about the 3 bitters. These are the 3 bitters. These my babies right here. These my babies. These are 3 bitters. All right, 1 cleanses the lymphatic system in the skin. Bitter 2 cleanses the blood in the organs. And bitter 3 cleanses the nervous system in the colon. All of these help rebuild the mucosa membrane, but you need true builders to get all inside of that. So right now we got the 3 bitters, and we got the 4 elements. The 4 elements are they're gonna be the next thing popping too. All right, let's see. Do also do you get rid of MS? Yes, we get rid of MS. We most definitely get rid of MS. MS easy. Multiple sclerosis. That's when the immunological system start attacking the nerve endings. And the reason why the immunological system is attacking the nerve endings is because, again, the mucous membrane is not there to be a buffer or to be a transporter medium between the immunological system and the nervous system. Again, for that would be my amino acid therapeutic package. Great class. And did my Hebrew Yosef contact you? I don't, man. You know how many calls we get a day, brother. I don't even know, brother. How can we purchase the kit, Aki? If you look, I'll type it in. I'll type in my website, www.yakiawaken.com. That's my website. I just put my website inside the comment board, y'all. You can get anything you need from off of there. If y'all see actually on my thing that's scrolling, y'all see my website and my office number. We only answer phone calls between 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. We don't answer phone calls before then or after that because we be getting blown up, y'all. We super busy and we work on hundreds and hundreds of herbs a week. So yeah, y'all be mindful of that. All right, what else we got? All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah, Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I broke out in hive. What's good for that? Whenever you're dealing with hives, again, mucosal membrane, because at the epithelia of your cells and your skins, you have allergens inside of your mucosal membrane. 3 bitters, 3 bitters, 3 bitter it out, 3 bitter, 3 bitter, 3 bitter. Great class, all praises. Hallelujah. How to get rid of autism in children. You have to cleanse the brain, Jeanette Marie. You have to truly cleanse that brain. Autism comes from vaccinations. Autism comes from vaccination. So you got to cleanse the brain of all the barium, the aluminum, all them toxic metals that's inside of the brain. You have to get the mucous membrane of the brain back stimulated, back flowing good. And you most definitely got to get rid of the parasites in the liver and fluke worms, because that's connected actually to autism plus the duodenum in the gut. So we have to go after the gut. So if it's a child, what's the age of the child? And then we'll know how to administrate the doses of the herbs. I have sickle. You have sickle cells. What do I need to do to be cured? You need to get my amino acid therapeutic package. You most definitely need. Now, what you should be on is the 4 elements. Go grab me the 4 elements, even if it's just the stickers. What you need to get on is the 4 elements. You know what I'm saying? The 4 elements do a great job, y'all. Matter of fact, I wonder if I can. Let me show y'all something, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if it'll let me. I wonder if it'll let me and not kick me off. Hold on, family. Let me show y'all what the 4 elements look like. Let me share my screen real quick one more time. Hold on, family. I'm finna show y'all the 4 elements. Y'all key. All right, let me go out of this. All right, I'm just finna show y'all my website real quick. Share screen one more again. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, so look, I'm just gonna show y'all my 4 elements. This is my actual website that I'm finna show y'all. All right, so this is my website, y'all. If y'all can see this, type in some 9s. If y'all can see my website, type in some 9s, and I'm gonna show y'all the 4 elements. And a lot of people don't know how to use my website. So tomorrow I'm gonna get back on this platform. I'm gonna show you how to use every inch of my website too, because a lot of people don't know how to use it. All right. So this the 3 bitters, which is on the home page. This is the purple sea moss. Y'all see the 4 elements. It says new right here. Notice what we got on the 4 elements. You got the phosphates, you got the carbonates, you got the iodines, and you got the bromines. This idea most definitely came from my beloved teacher, Dr. Sabi. You know what I'm saying? Just like my 3 bitters did too. I just love spin words and things that's catchy. And these are words that he has said in many of his lectures, and my audience said plenty of times over the phone. So this is what we call them. The 4 elements: phosphates, carbonates, iodines, and bromines. These are in fact your rebuilders, y'all. These are your rebuilders. They rebuild. I mean, these are rebuilders. Now, the 3 bitters are cleansers. They're cleansers. They got rebuilding adjectives in them, and it's full of bifidum bacteria. But when you need to rebuild everything, it will actually be not the 4 foundations. These are my 4 foundations, foundation 4s. But it'll actually be the 4 elements, what we call the 4 elements infusions. This give you all the iron you need, give you all the calcium or the carbonates you need, all the iodides you need, and all the bromines which come from the sea. These are your rebuilders. Y'all see that? And then there's just my website. It's a whole lot of stuff there. Remember, if you hover over the store button, you got protocols, capsules, tinctures, teas, deals and bundles, powders, free downloads, oils, and salves. Company name, you got the About Ya key, the frequently asked questions, the directory. On this page, the Eat to Live page, herbal courses, book collection. This page is where all the videos at. It's where actually all the videos is at that we do. And then also we got the instruction page. The instruction page is going to be videos showing y'all how to use every single thing we make. Because a lot of people keep calling us saying, how do you use it? How do you use it? And that's going to be on this page. And then the more page is the donation page. If you click on more and you feel like donating to the cause, donating to helping us build things and stuff like that, donate. You know what I'm saying? Every dollar is most definitely appreciated. We got PayPal, Cash App, and we got the money order box. So, you know what I'm saying? All praises to that. Let me get up out of here and get back to it. All right, I'm finna get back to y'all questions. I got 5 more minutes, y'all, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. 5 more minutes, I'm gonna get up out of here. All right, can you teach on edema? I'll talk about edema next, probably the week after next. I'll make sure I write that down. I have sickle cell. So for sickle cell, you most definitely need iron phosphate. You need iron phosphate, and you need to get on that parasitic elimination, because all it is when the parasites go inside of the hemoglobin cells and eat the iron molecule up out of it. So you need to kill them parasites, and you need to build back up your iron phosphate and your hemoglobin account. We done healed many people of sickle cell anemia, so that's easy work. And again, the number is on the site. Call me if you want to most definitely talk to me for 30 minutes, book a consultation. All right, do you have to take all the 3 bitters at once? Yes, you do. You got to take them all at once, back to back. You got to take them all at once, back to back. Newborns have sickle disease. Should I drink it? Hold on, my newborn. He get it by mouth. Are you breastfeeding? And then we're gonna have to do something else with that, because I don't recommend you take the 3 bitters while you're pregnant. So chickenpox is linked to, chickenpox is herpes, Sherelle. Chickenpox is herpes, and yes, is linked to future memory loss. Yes, it is, especially if you don't get that herpes cleaned up out, the hemiform cleaned up, and that glycoprotein back in check. Yes, it will lead to future memory loss. Someone in late stage of throat cancer, what herbs are good to purchase? Most definitely the amino acid therapeutic package. You should get the level 1 for real. Amino acid therapeutic package level 1 if it's in its late stages. And we're gonna have to most definitely get up in there, get some dandelion roots up in there, some sarsaparilla, some sour sop, and things like that. And remember, cancer, what we just seen, cancer is in fact a parasitic, y'all. It's a parasite. Most parasites feed off acids and sugar. Why and how is date? Sugar's different. Yes, most parasites do feed off acids and sugars, but these are what you call stimulant sugars. These are not talking about polysaccharides. Your DNA is made of sugar. Glucose is sugar. Fructose is sugar that you get from fruits. These are natural. Dates is natural sugar. These are natural things that actually kill parasitics. So your DNA is acids and sugar mix. You wouldn't exist without sugar. Sugar is melanin and carbon contents. That's sugar. You are sugar. You're a crystallized sugar, crystallized carbon and melanin. What type of sugar that feeds cancer is polysaccharides. Polysaccharides just means complex sugar molecules. And these are maltose or pentose, which is 5 sugar backbone phosphates at the end of it and stuff like that. Natural sugars from fruits and vegetables, that's in its natural state, is very good for the body because it feeds the body what it's made of, because you are made of nothing but sugar. What kind of sugar that kills you and causes cancer is processed sugars, sugar cane and stuff like that, not natural sugars and flavonoids and monosaccharides that's inside of your fruits and vegetables. That actually heals the body. We heal the body with the sugars of the herb. Even though we call them chemicals or phytonutrients, all of it breaks down into a sugar. That's what glyco means. It means sugar. All right, look, y'all, I'm finna get up out of here. What's the best to eat while on the bitters? The best to eat while on the bitters is going and downloading my amino acid therapeutic diet. You know what I'm saying? Eat that and just go raw. That's the best way to cleanse. So look, y'all, it's been a long time I've been on here. I love y'all. I wish I can answer all of y'all questions, but I can't right now. Most I willing, if I'm not up Thursday, I most definitely be up Tuesday, Yahweh Ratzah, which just means Yahweh willing. If I got breath in my body, and we can talk about anything then. So with that being said, I hope this video was very edifying, and I hope y'all got a lot from it. And man, look, let's keep exposing these devils and let's heal. So what y'all need to actually heal the mucous membrane, get into herbs like guaco, get into sarsaparilla, get into chaparral, get into wild yam root, get into all of these herbs, marshmallow root, get into the bitter barks, get into hydrangea root. These are the stuff you're going to need. Once you get these herbs, all you have to do for real is really figure out how to pull the constituents and the right amino acids from them and the right flavonoids and the right chemicals from them. And once you ratio them right, man, look, you can, once you heal that mucosa membrane and you kill them parasites and you get your proteins in check, you become unstoppable and you can get rid of any disease. And we know this from experience, not for just talking out the side of our necks. All right, so shalom alaikum, family. Peace and blessings be with y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.